Hi, I'm Steve Younis. Welcome to the Speeding Bulletin, your Superman news video recapping the events of the week August 19th to August 25th, 2016. Our top news stories this week included the Daily Planet printing presses are rolling for the Justice League movie, Linda Carter films her first scenes for Season 2 of Supergirl, and DC Comics releases their November 2016 solicitations. Let's check out these news stories and more in this week's Speeding Bulletin. In movie news, Clay Enos, official photographer for the upcoming Justice League movie, shared the following black and white photo on his Instagram account. The photo shows the front page of an edition of the Daily Planet newspaper rolling through the printing presses. If you look closely, you can read some of the columns of text, with the main story seemingly reporting on a new emergency computer system being implemented, which could leave the city's computers vulnerable to cyber attacks. DC Entertainment released another clip from the direct-to-DVD animated movie DC Superhero Girls Hero of the Year, which is on sale now. It's time for the annual Hero of the Year ceremony, and the students of Superhero High compete for the top prize. But the festivities take a turn when Dark Opal targets the heroes and steals some of their most valued possessions to form the ultimate weapon. It's up to the students at Superhero High to spring into action. Order DC Superhero Girls Hero of the Year on DVD from our online store now. In TV news, former TV Wonder Woman Linda Carter is set to appear in the second season of Supergirl as the President of the United States of America. Melissa Benoist posted this photo to her Instagram account, showing the two women on set together. In return, Carter also posted the same photo on her own Facebook page, stating, "Having so much fun filming Supergirl on the CW with Melissa Benoist." In 2013, Genndy Tartakovsky, the creator of the Samurai Jack animated series, had been commissioned by Warner Brothers to produce a Superman animated short for the DC Nation series. The Cartoon Network short film never made it past the concept art stage, but artist Scott Wills has released a couple of Photoshop designs he created for the project. He writes, "Genndy, Justin Thompson and I were very excited to do our take on an animated Superman, but unfortunately it was pulled from us just as we were starting." In comic book news, DC All Access will host its first all-day live stream event on Friday, September 2nd. The celebratory live stream will take place from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Time and will feature special guest interviews tied to DC's publishing initiatives. DC Comics released their November 2016 solicitations this week, and we highlighted for you all the Superman-related comics and products listed. Of special note was Action Comics 967, Men of Steel Part 1, in which Lex Luthor is under attack and only Superman can save him. When the world's most ingenious scientific mind took on the mantle of Metropolis' new Man of Steel, the world took notice, and so did the mysterious Godslayer. And Superman number 10, In the Name of the Father Part 1, where for the first time the Man of Tomorrow and the Boy of Steel team up with the Caped Crusader and the Boy Wonder in a father-son adventure you won't want to miss. Damian Wayne has been hearing a lot about this mysterious new Superboy, and now's his chance to find out who he is. Check out the complete list of Superman-related titles in the November solicitations at our website now. Comic books we reviewed this week included Superman number 5, which was reviewed by Adam Deschanel, who gave it a 5 out of 5, saying, "This to me showed Lois at her best and showed her progression from determined reporter to mother." James Lance reviewed Supergirl Rebirth number 1, calling it the perfect lead-in to the new monthly comic, and he gave it a 5 out of 5 rating. Justice League number 3 was reviewed by T.A. Hewitt, who gave it a 4 out of 5, saying, "There's a lot going on here and most of it works." T.A. also reviewed Injustice Year 5, Chapter 35, calling it lackluster, languid storytelling, and he gave it a 1 out of 5 rating. Superman comics available this week from August 24th include Injustice Year 5, Chapter 36 digital comic has been available since August 23rd, Action Comics 962, which is available in a variant cover, and Earth 2 Society Volume 2 Indivisible trade paperback. Funko's Pop vinyl figures are perfect collectible items for Superman fans of all ages. Get the Funko Pop Heroes Superman vinyl figure for just $7.49. Or how about the Funko Pop Heroes Clark Kent exclusive vinyl figure, available for $23.94. These and other Funko Pop vinyl figures are available from your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop. In other news, I wrote an article this week looking back through history to find out just when Perry White first yelled out the phrase, "Great Caesar's Ghost." Was it on TV, the Fleischer cartoons, or the radio series? Find out this and the origin of the phrase in my article dated August 24th at supermanhomepage.com. I wasn't embarrassed to admit that I absolutely loved Gwenda Bond's first Lois Lane novel Fallout when it was released in May 2015. When I heard a follow-up book was being released in May this year, I was really looking forward to catching up with young Lois Lane, her teenage friends at the Scoop, and to see what mysteries she and Smallville Guy would be helping each other out with this time around. I can tell you that in this second book, Lois Lane Double Down, Gwenda Bond weaves an intricate tale of suspense, mystery and intrigue, mixed with a good blend of interpersonal relationships, all coloured by Lois Lane's can-do attitude. It's well worth a read, and you can read my full review at the website now, and grab your own copy of Lois Lane Double Down from the Superman homepage online store. That's all the news there was for the week August 19th to August 25th. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
Hello everyone, and thanks for watching another episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. How's it going? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Tyler Hoechlin, or Hoechlin, or Hoechlin. He's been cast as Superman for the upcoming season of Supergirl, and I assume ongoing, which is now on the CW. We're going to see what the changes are, how different it is. It's going to be a little more difficult, I think, to show flying effects, and now you have two super people, aside from all the Kryptonians that have been on the show, flying around and doing different things. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. People seem to have a concern not being on CBS where it had a bigger budget. It's not going to be able to show the effects that it has shown when it was on CBS, but Flash has effects every week, pretty extensive effects, and a lot of times it looks bad. You can tell that it's a CGI animated drawn Flash and not really Grant Gustin in the shots where they show him super running or running on the side of a building or racing Yellow Flash or whatever. The man in the yellow suit, Reverse Flash. So we might see some of that with Supergirl to where it's not as good, although I think even on CBS you could tell when it was a CGI'd Supergirl and when it was really Melissa Benoist. But Tyler Hoechlin, upon first casting, they were only showing me certain angles, certain facial profiling, and I thought, looks the part, looks good. Now that we've seen more shots, we see shots behind the scenes, we see shots of him in the suit, his face is very angular, so it's a bit of an odd look for Superman. He's obviously a decent-looking fellow, and he's in good shape, but he also appears to be very young. We'll have to see when they're in action, because Melissa Benoist definitely plays a very young kind of gullible version of Supergirl very well. So maybe it'll be the acting style choices that they choose to show his age. But he looks younger than her, I would say, or looks much younger than her comparatively when he's supposed to already be operating on Earth for over 10 years and not being able to beat Reactron and all that. My issue with Supergirl in general, in terms to its relation to Superman, is that it has kind of been a show where they purposely show Superman in a negative light, although Supergirl also has been shown kind of negatively in terms of her reaction to Superman existing. You would think that she, before the evil Kryptonians and her aunt, who is, we're not sure, of course she's dead now, it doesn't matter, but the idea that there's a good living representation of how a Kryptonian acts on Earth wearing a suit, being a hero, and she's kind of, I don't know if I can say this on here, bitchy toward the idea that he's there, and very negative toward anybody involving him or talking to him or anything. And every time Clark contacts her via text message, it makes me teary because I feel like it's a very loving, understanding version of Superman where he doesn't really mind that she doesn't want his input, and he's kind of saying you're doing a great job. But, that being said, they also show that he's kind of a dolt. Because he was unable to defeat Reactron over all these years. They just fight to a standstill, and then they both fly off, meaning he allows this guy to go leave and then come back. And, of course, Supergirl just defeats him not long after needing Superman to come in and intervene. That's because Jimmy calls her, and then she acts all annoyed that she was going to be dead. And Jimmy called Superman, who then saved her. But then they both just kind of fly off again. That means Reactron's still out there to come bother Supergirl again, which he does. But then she rather simply comes up with a way to just reach into his chest and pull out his power core, which you would think all these years and all these times, as James explains, that Superman and Reactron fight, that Superman could have thought of that. But instead just lets him fly off every time. And then you have him in a coma at the end after he is mind-controlled by the Kryptonians because he's as human as humans are because he grew up here, which technically Supergirl did as well. She came a little bit older, but she still spent most of her life here on Earth, or at least half of her life here on Earth anyway. They feel like they have to do that because it's a Supergirl show, and if Superman comes, it overpowers whatever villain it is, because instead of having one Supergirl, you now have two super people. So it's been kind of a bad look at Superman, in my opinion, in terms of what he's able to do or what he contributes to the story, other than the emotional part where he's Clark and he's just talking to her from far away. But even that's bad because that means that they're not associating, he's not teaching her, she's not learning from him, and they're not being a family. He's a distance away. And she doesn't want him around. So now we have Tyler Hoechlin coming on, and I believe he looks younger. And we also have the pod at the end of the first season where she opened it and was surprised by what was inside. We didn't get to see it. We will as the season goes on. And I'm guessing it wasn't meant to be this initially, or maybe it was, because it was on CBS. But now that they're going to introduce the multiverse and they're going to introduce the idea that the Flash has screwed up everything, by running around and changing, and things are going to start combining, and now we're going to have super people in the Olliverse, the Arrowverse. They didn't know them before. You know, super who? Super what? Who are you? That kind of thing. It was a great episode when Flash crossed over with Supergirl. But it was made very clear that there are no super people, Superman, Supergirl, in the Arrowverse, which is where Flash is. So now they're going to be a part of that universe, or they're going to be somewhere else, where they're going to be able to cross over. We've seen that they're going to have crossovers. We've seen all their boots in one photo together, so we kind of know they're together and they're filming something. My thinking is that whether it was planned or not initially, the person in the pod is going to be Tyler Hoechlin's Superman, and that Superman is different than the Superman we have seen so far on Supergirl, who now is in an alternate version of the universe. He's grown, he's more experienced. He doesn't really fit in this younger verse where guys with arrows are going to need to be effective, because if you bring two super people who are overly effective, then either the Flash or Arrow, then it's way overkill, and we were already talking overkill when it was just Supergirl and we had Superman there, so we had to make him look bad in every instance. And Tyler Hoechlin looks much younger than a guy who should be a seasoned guy. We've seen a video of him fighting Metallo. I'm guessing that's going to be this Superman's first time. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking the Superman that the person in the pod is going to be Tyler Hoechlin's Superman, and that Supergirl, in order to again make her look better, look more seasoned, and look like the one who was supposed to come and protect Superman, is going to be the trainer, is going to be the one helping him as opposed to the other way around, because then that detracts from her on her show, and I don't feel like they've found a way to do that without making Superman look less effective than he should be. But we'll see what happens come October when Supergirl Season 2 launches, along with Arrow and The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow on the new CW, which is pretty much a whole week of DC shows. We're living in a great time. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and remember, always look into the pod. Outtakes. Yes?
Can I go over Tyler's house?
Tyler's? You mean, what's her name?
Brittany.
Ah, Brittany. You can go check.
Thank you. Is it?
Having the only living
Baby birds, baby bird.